Okay, so story of the magic lock. So there was this guy and his mom. He went to the woods every day, got sticks, and sold them in the market. Bought a bread a loaf, and that's what they ate. So, but one day, he was walking back from the market, and he saw these shepherds, and they were killing a dog, trying to kill a dog. So he was like, "Don't kill the dog; it's done you no harm." So he bought the dog from them and brought it home. And then the next day, the same thing happened, but with the kitten. So he bought the kitten and took it home. And his mom was like, "What are you doing? We need to eat." And so um, he was like, "Okay, I'll just go to the woods again and go buy another loaf." But then the same day, on his way back, there was a snake, and he saved the snake and bought it and gave the shepherds the loaf. So then he brought it home, and then he went again so that he could eat, and he got enough sticks to buy 4 loaves of bread. So he went home and he fed the cats and the cat and the dog and the snake and his mom and himself. And so he was able to make the cats and the dog strong and the snake strong. And so the snake was able to help him with the bringing the logs to the town, to the market. And then the snake told him to go into town and find this house with the lock on it. And the snake said only to knock on the lock and not on the door. And so he went and he found this lock. And and the snake also said, and when it's gonna ask you something, and only ask for the lock. Don't ask for anything else, only the lock. And so he went, knocked on the lock, and 12 men appeared and said, "What do you want?" And he said, "I want the lock." And they said, "You can't have it." And so, but he wasn't giving up, so they just gave it to him. And so the next day, so he came back and he was like, "Okay, well, I can do anything." So he's like, he knocked on the lock, and the 12 men appeared, and he's like, "Give me money." And so they gave him money, and then he was like, Mother, go to the king and tell him I want his daughter in marriage." And so she did, and the king said that he had to make the best fields in the land, all over the hills that he could see. And so he did, and then the king was like, "You have to make the best vineyards and the best wine." And so he did with the lock. He knocked on it, and the 12 men did it. And then the last thing the king asked before he could have his daughter's hand in marriage is, you have to you have to have a castle as good as mine and more cattle than I do. And so he just knocked on the lock and asked the men, and he had it all. And so then got the daughter's hand in marriage, and he was asking, and they were having festivities for 3 years, and then so they kept partying, and then the king of the sea came and took the lock in night and took his castle to the Black Sea where he lived, and then pretty much the dog and the cat swam to it, and they stole the lock back, and they moved the castle back, and they lived happy ever